Another interesting thing that you talk about is how Gen Zers' viewpoint is a lot like traditionalists when it comes to employment. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, obviously times are different. Gen Z, traditionalists might be a little offended, like, what? You can pull out your phone. I actually had a map that I read that would get me there. So, I could see why traditionalists might be shocked by that, but some core values we are seeing. One that I have touched on would be dues paying. Here's a generation where I said 75% said they're willing to start at the bottom and work their way up. Very traditionalist attitude. Comes from the recession, as well as Gen X parents telling them it's going to be a hard world out there. Another one is loyalty. 61% of Gen Z said, I'm willing to stay 10 years at a company. We have not seen that for years and years and years. Now, a lot of people say, oh, good, they're going to come and they're going to stay. That does not take the ownership off of employees or employers and organizations. We still have to figure out all those things we've been talking about, from hyper-customization to ways to do feedback to mission-driven, to get them to stay. But if we can create that independent and hyper-custom careers, I do believe Gen Z will stick around for a while. But another factor that comes into that is you have Gen Z entering the workplace. They know that life expectancy is pushing 90s into 100 right now. So they know they're going to be working for years and years and years and years and years. So 10 years to them, while a long time, it's not a lifetime. So they'll still have multiple careers because they're going to be working for a long time.
That's interesting. That's another, because I also feel like, as Gen Xers, we were raised by traditionalists, right? So also, although Gen Xers kind of were looking for that alternative path, I wonder how much of the underlying values that our parents instilled in us are actually now going to our children, even though we wanted to do things a little differently. And we struggled to do those things. But, when I read that, I was like, I wonder.
I absolutely think, but at the same time, for us, retirement was still defined at like 65. We still thought you work, and then you stop. But what happened was we saw a lot of our parents stop, depressed, didn't feel they had purpose anymore. We're missing community. So I think a lot of that model that was laid out for us, we were like, ooh, it's not going to necessarily be the case. And so I think we've instilled in our kids this idea, you'll be working one form or another, as you should. Hopefully you love your work for years and years and years. So I think the whole idea of a career path has changed. You don't work and stop. You keep working, hopefully reinventing. But in the case of Gen Z, if that means I'm at a company for 10 plus years, they're all in, which comes back to a lot of those traditionalist values that we haven't seen for a while, that employers, I think it's a golden opportunity for employers as well as for Gen Z.